Hi guys.
Hey Cassie.
Hi Cassie. Is Cassie the only one watching?
Hello everybody.
Hello everybody. Let's lift this up. Okay. Oh, I should really get all the background sorted out before I actually press live on the camera. Oh, okay, so it's raining outside. It's raining outside for the second day in a row.
Oh, well, at least you don't have to water the garden.
Well, that's a funny thing.
Well, what's funny about it? Don't tell me you're going to water the garden, it's raining.
I actually did.
You didn't. Oh my God.
So I'll tell you what I did. So I'm a gardener as well as I am a quilter and a sewer. And I've got this thing about having a super green lawn. I'm like obsessed with having a super green lawn. And so it's raining right outside, and I'm like to Neil. Neil's my husband, by the way. I was like, should I go outside and put some iron on the lawn? And he's there like, well, yeah, why not? And I'm like, okay, like because like my brain is thinking, well, if it's like a fertilizer or like the iron or whatever, then it's going to get watered in really well, yeah? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I decided, so it's been like raining all day yesterday, it's been raining like this morning, so I get my shorts on, so I'm like, okay, I want something that's going to get me less wet through. So I put my shorts on, put my like rain jacket on, and tied my hair up and went outside with a watering can in the rain, watering iron into my lawn.
Oh,
and I'm sure, right? I'm sure there's people like walking by, like thinking, "What is this woman doing?"
Yes, I can imagine that.
What would you think if somebody was watering with a watering can in the rain?
Yeah, that probably does look a bit odd, doesn't it?
I swear there's like iron in there, and they're like, well, I'm sure there's some thought process in that where it's good to be like doing stuff like that in the rain rather than like with it being super dry in the sun. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure it will absorb it a bit better.
So honestly, I think that's right. Anyway, yeah.
God.
Okay, let's talk about my first quilt and why I selected what I selected and what I did and the mistakes that happened, and yeah. So this quilt I decided to use a jelly roll, and if you don't know what a jelly roll is, it is basically so jelly roll and layer cakes and any of them were actually made by a company called Moda Fabrics, and they created these like fabric selections where every single colour within that fabric line is within that particular roll. So in that jelly roll you'll have all the different colours, and the jelly roll is 2.5 inches cut into strips of every single colour of that line. So that's one of the great reasons about getting like a jelly roll or layer cake or a charm pack, any of them types of things. And it takes away having to like cut the fabric out, so you're not having to waste all that time like cutting the pieces out.
So that would make it easier for you then, doesn't it, really?
But the only thing that I don't like about jelly rolls, and I don't know whether you thought the same thing when we both made a jelly roll rug, both me and my mum. Shall I go and get it and show everybody?
Yeah, go on.
Run, Cassie! It's on the side. 1 second. It was funny, Mum. Like the other day, I was watching a playback of one of my live videos, and I've noticed how much I like stroke my arm or I play with my hair. It's so weird. And then I just sat there like, I don't know, picking my nose or something. I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, so this is a Jelly Roll rug. And this was made out of 2.5-inch strips. Because Jelly Roll, that's what it is. But the only thing that I don't like about it sometimes is the colours of, why am I just out of breath from just waffling just that little bit?
Oh my goodness.
That's not funny. So, the dark colours. I don't like the dark colours. Because there's like, no. Like this is like dark grey on the outside. And like when they tell you how to like do the Jelly Roll rug, and in the actual instructions, they always tell you like to save the dark strips for the outside edges, because your dark side, the edges are going to get dirty a lot quicker than what they would on the inside. I mean, do you know what? I really like this Jelly Roll rug.
It is. It's very nice. I love it.
So this fabric I just found on the Fluke at that when I was in the States at that it's called Tuesday Morning or something like that, and it's a bit like a Marshalls. You don't have Marshalls, do you, in England? Do you have TK Maxx? So it's basically a bit like that, where it's just like, I don't know, oddball stuff from like closeouts, or like, what is it like? Is it when these stores have a sale or something? And it's like, Mum, you're sending me photos and I'm doing a live and there's nothing I can do about it. Let me just stop the live broadcast while I look at a picture from my mum who's talking to me right now.
That's what mine look like.
What was that?
Just to remind you what mine looked like.
Yours was grey and yellow.
Yes, I like it.
But you didn't have any black fabric in it. It was just like every single colour on the quilt was quite the same colour. Now, the reason why I was talking about that is because on this quilt, my first ever quilt that I did, the dark blue stands out way too much throughout the whole quilt for my liking. Does it not you?
I can't remember what it was like. Send me a picture of it.
I did send you a picture.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Check the picture.
Oh, the quilt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the quilt, yeah. No, I like it. Because you've got that right bit, around the edge, and you've got the dark bits, the blues, and is it like an orange or a red? It's always...
Well, it looks like it's a coral. It was a coral that I put in.
Yeah.
And I actually, because I tried to match the coral of the border with the coral on the inside of the fabric. It's slightly off, but it's just about there.
I think it's a good job, that.
And the reason why I put the blue in the border was because I wanted to match the blue within the quilt kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I love that.
No, I don't know. For me, I don't quite like the blue as much as the rest of it. And I wanted it to be like shabby chic, because I've got this whole thing about shabby chic. Because I tell you, if I would like lived in a house on my own, I'd probably just have like shabby chic everything. And everything, I don't know. I don't know, like pink and gingham or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's cute. So, and I decided to do I thought it was a railroad block, but I think it's called three on three or something. When you have like a block going one way and the block going another way, because that's all this quilt block is. Like what you actually do is, okay, I'm like jumping, I'm darting everywhere. You get 3 strips of you get 3 Jelly Roll strips, and you're supposed to sew them all together in one big long line, and then you cut them individually. But back in the day, I probably didn't do it that way, and probably did it some convoluted way, because it was my very first quilt, and I never knew how to do things properly. I'm because at first I did this, and I think I may have run out of fabric, so then I had to create this like additional like border on it. So there's like a white border. I mean, after this live, I did post a picture of what this quilt looks like, so you'll be able to go back and have a look at the community tab, because I did post it there. So, and then it was still too small, so then I created this this lattice border that I did.
Yes, I like it. I like the way that you've done it.
It has its errors in a few places, if I'm honest. If I pointed them all out.
It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I think when you do these hours, there's only you that can see it.
Oh, I don't know.
Then at the end of the day as well, it's unique, isn't it? You know, I mean, with like errors and everything as well. I don't know. I love it.
And I remember the lattice border being like quite difficult. Like, because it was, I can't remember how it was even done. I kind of want to think it was done, oh, I know how it's done. It's done exactly the same way as the quilt's done. So I think it's done in like 4 blocks, and then is it turned and then sewed like in a triangle or something? Because one triangle's going one way, another triangle's going another way.
Yeah.
But no, there's like thousands of errors in this quilt.
No, you wouldn't be able to tell, because you've even what's the name, haven't you? What do you call it? Free motioned it as well, haven't you?
I have, and we'll get to that part later.
I like it. I think it's lovely. You've matched the colours up really well.
It is, isn't it? I guess
it's very light in the middle and everything. Then you've got the nice, like the framework around the edge of it.
Yeah, it like stands out. I like the lime green. I do like the lime green.
I like all of it, because you've matched it all in from the centre. You got the blues.
So another thing about the border is the fact that because it's going every single which way possible, like on this lattice, I didn't understand the concept of cutting on the bias at that point. So I think I might have cut different fabrics different ways, and then it stretched out. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you pull fabric, even on a cotton, if you pull fabric one way and then you pull fabric another way, it does stretch.
Yeah. This is what happened. I mean, that's what, at the end of the day, you was learning. It was your first one, and you learned.
It was. And I remember asking some people that are quilters at the time for some advice, and I didn't get much advice from them, if I'm honest.
Oh.
And I feel as though sometimes when you're making your first quilt, that people don't want to necessarily like see that you do it so well or something. I don't know. It was funny because I had a comment on my YouTube the other day, and I can't remember who it came from, and I do apologise, but thank you very much for commenting. And what they said is that they've been watching so many different YouTube tutorials, and they got to my tutorial on, I can't remember which one it was, but she basically said that she was so thankful of finding my video, because she said that I allowed her to make mistakes. Like, I basically was saying it doesn't matter if like things go wrong, that, you know, sometimes she was watching some YouTube tutorials where she felt like, oh, if you didn't do it this way, you don't do it that way, then, you know, the whole thing's going to be a mess and you might as well throw it in the garbage. And I thought that was a lovely comment that she left. And I felt the same way too when I was sewing and when I was doing my like quilting, and I was trying to find YouTube tutorials. And this is why I like doing it the way that I do it on my YouTube channel, because sometimes I'm there like, so I'll do like, my nemesis in sewing right now is always like making dresses and making garments. I don't know why. I struggle so much with making garments. I just do. And then my mum is there like, I'm surprised she hasn't said it. How is it you can make all these complicated quilts and you can't make a dress out of 5 pieces?
I know, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any comments.
I know what you mean though, because when I did that bubble quilt,
hi guys,
for my friend,
Go on, say.
When I did that bubble cut for my friend, because she's having a baby, I was looking at all the things on YouTube, and do you know they left pieces out for some why I don't know, and it was like there was that certain pieces they'd leave out, and it's like they seem to want they don't go through it properly like you do. You know what I mean? You tell everything, and you're really good. You're very unique in the way that you do things and explain things, and you don't leave things out.
This is my mum. This is my mum, my number one fan, the person that was always watching my YouTube videos right from the very start. She was my only viewer. It's too funny. I don't know.
It's true. No, it's true. It's that people don't explain things properly and they leave things out. I mean, then you're struggling, and the amount of times I unpicked that because I was trying to do the border on it and everything and put the back, the lining on it and everything, and people don't tell you certain things.
I don't know whether I'm sort of like, because sometimes I'm still looking at things from like a beginner's point of view, and I just think, okay, like I need to like remember like what needle I'm putting in and this, that, and the other, and I think and I still remember what it's like to be a beginner. And I think some people have probably just been like doing it for too long and they just forget like to put yourself in that beginner mindset again. Maybe.
I'm a bit complacent.
I don't know.
But think if people do these videos and things and they're there to be helpful, they should be helpful then, shouldn't they?
I told you about that time when I was making a bag, right? So I was like looking for loads of YouTube videos and I found this particular YouTube video about making this bag, and I got halfway through and I'm following along because I didn't watch the video all the way through. I just plowed right in and like I was doing the video and halfway through she was like, oh no, that's not right. What? And she basically just did something different halfway through and I wasted half this fabric. I mean, I laugh now, but I wasn't laughing at the time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you gotta laugh though. I'm honestly not YouTube bashing on other people. Like, there are some fabulous YouTubers out there, but I'm just saying that, is what it is, I guess. Anyway, so this border that was cut on the bias stretched 10 million different ways, and then I was there like, okay, I know how to fix this, and I ran it through my serger and it made everything 10 times worse because as I was putting through the serger it was like lettucing everything, so it was like just making everything all ripply. I made a situation 10 times worse.
No, I don't think you did.
I did, because it fanned out and latticed.
Well, it looks 3D then, doesn't it?
I guess. So it's probably not a perfectly straight rectangle quilt, this quilt. It's probably just slightly I don't even know if it lies flat. It might not lie flat. Anyway. And so the next saga in the quilt, so this quilt tells a story, I'm telling you. So I've done the top, done the border, and then I go and get the back in, and I decide that I'm going to do it with fireside on the back. So fireside is basically it's like a cross between a minky and a polar fleece is probably the best way I can describe it. It's like a fluffy kind of blanket on the back. So I had asked somebody, inverted commas, whether I needed to put batting in the middle of it. Do I just need it as the top and the fireside, and whether I needed any batting in the middle of it? And he said no. And that was not true. So what I did was I did the front, put the fireside on the back, and then I birthed the quilt. So birthing means when you leave the gap in that section and then you pull everybody all the way through, that's basically referred to as birthing the quilt. So and then what I did was I tried to do the free motion quilting on my quilt, But the problem is because you don't have that stability of the inside layer, it all went horribly wrong. So when I was free motioning it, it was like, I can't remember, it like had like bubbles on the back, it had eyelashes everywhere. It was awful. It looked awful. And the reason why it failed so bad is because I didn't have batting in the middle. And I don't understand why that person told me not to put batting in the middle of it, because they are a quilter. I have no idea. Because not only because you've got the fireside on the back for warmth and everything, but like the batting, not only does it provide warmth, it also provides like stability in your quilt in the two layers. So when you do your free motion work, it helps to keep everybody like stable in that as you are actually free motion quilting. So guys, if like always have some sort of a batting inside of there, because it is like a stabilizer, as you will, for your free motion quilting work. I got on a rant.
Yeah, but at least you learned. You know, it's like they say, you learn the hard way, don't you?
I know, but I don't think I'd needed to learn the hard way if I would have been given the advice proper that I needed.
Yeah. No, I know.
But on the other hand, I now know, like, I made the mistake. I don't want to say that I made a mistake because I went on the advice of somebody else. But anyway, the mistake was made, and now I know the importance of why you need batting inside of a quilt. So there you go. Yeah. There's a lesson learned. So what I basically had to do, because I was destined to like do my first quilt and like not garbage it, because I'm not garbaging it. Like this was worth a lot of money to me at the time, and I unpicked the whole quilt with other people helping me. And it took a long time to unpick this whole thing, because I'd done like a meander on the quilt and I unpicked it all out. I unpicked it.
Oh my God.
But it was easier than trying to unpick that embroidery thing that time, the other week. Because I'd like, from that embroidery machine, like, no. Like, that's difficult.
Bloody thing. Who helped you unpick it?
Some people. That's all I'm going to say.
The people did it.
They helped me. The people.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice of them.
It was nice of them. So anyway, then I went and bought some cotton for the back, which was the 108 inches wide, and did the quilt properly with the batting, the backing, and the top layer. And this one was, I can't remember which sewing machine. I can't remember. I don't think I was a baby lock person back then. It was done on a different machine.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was done on and I can see that, you know, I was like, I'd went over lines and everything, and I don't know, it's like, is there a law about crossing over lines during free motion quilting work? Like, is it like, does somebody come into the room and say, no, you're not allowed to do that? Anyway, yeah, I went over it wasn't even a proper meander. It's literally, it's just like all over the place. It looks like I just got a pen and just went like that all over my quilt.
I don't know, I think it looks good.
And the binding on it isn't too swell. I've come on with my binding since then. It's not even gripped some of the sides, because I think that was a time when I didn't know how to do binding. And that was
like me.
You know how to do binding now, don't you?
I don't know. I only did it on that. I've only done that one quilt, so I don't know.
I did a video on the binding. You can watch that video.
Yeah, no, that's what I have to do. Yeah, I have to go on your video in the end.
So what I did here, I think I just I didn't know how to do binding, obviously, and I did. So what have I done? It doesn't look too swell. I think at this point I was like, just get the binding done and just be done with it.
Yeah.
I'm just like looking at it. What did you do? Yeah, I'm much better at binding nowadays. So yeah, that's my very first quilt. Jelly roll quilt.
You did really. It's a good first quilt, I think.
It's funny now because I actually wish I would have numbered my quilts.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely my first quilt, and I always remember my first quilt. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you remember your first quilt? You haven't done a quilt yet, have you, Mum? Oh, you've done your bubble one. You've just done your bubble one.
Yeah.
What quilt do you want to do? Have you seen one that you actually want to do?
No, I don't know. I've always wanted to make a quilt. I need to. I don't know. It's getting the fabric now, isn't it?
Well, you could go onto Pinterest, right, and see which kind of quilt that you want to actually do.
Yeah, that's true.
My coffee's bad today. Trying to think what was my second quilt. Neil likes the star quilt. I'm thinking maybe I need to do so every single Wednesday. Maybe I should just bring my projects on and just talk about my projects and my experience and my thoughts. What, does everybody like want to know what's going on in Cassie's head? Because Cassie doesn't know what's going on in her head half the time.
That's a good idea. But it's like, it's like when people are doing things, they always make out they're doing everything perfect all the time.
Yeah, that was my other point. That was my other point about YouTube videos.
It doesn't happen, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. And like nobody makes anything perfectly. And that's why I wanted to, that was my other point, and I went off on a tangent. So I don't like making, well, I do like making clothes. I think I like making clothes. I don't know if I like making clothes. So the funny thing is that I used to go to the fabric store and buy like bargain bucket fabric. And then I used to say to the woman would be like, what are you making? I'd be like, oh, I'm trying to make da-da-da. And then I'd be like, can we just say a little prayer for this fabric? Because I know I'm going to destroy it. My fabric prayer to the fabric. And I like to do YouTube videos of me struggling to make clothes in order to show you guys that other people struggle to make clothes. Does that make sense? Or is that just stupid?
No. But you've done some of those dresses and that you made. That yellow one that you made and the
No, I didn't do a YouTube video on the yellow dress. I made the yellow dress. I had to garbage the yellow dress because it had a stain on it that I couldn't get off, and I love the yellow dress. So I'm gonna have to find some more yellow fabric.
I really like that yellow.
That dress is really easy to make, actually. It's literally just like, it's basically just a t-shirt and a skirt. Like, just think about these things like really easily when you're making something. All anything ever is at the end of the day is some sort of t-shirt and some sort of skirt, isn't it? When you think about it.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah.
And then all you're doing with the dress is marrying the top with a skirt, blah blah blah. But I think sometimes my trouble ends up being, so I can like, I trace all the fabric out and everything that I need, and then I put everything all onto the fabric, cut it all out, and then you told me, don't try to do it all in the one day because you're just going to mess it up.
I know. Or just have have a break for about an hour or so, and then go back.
I don't even know. I think I need more than an hour. So then, like,
That's what I used to do. It was like when I had Shane, your brother, when he was a baby. I used to get him sorted out, get him all ready. Then I used to sort of like one evening I used to cut it all out, and I'd leave it. Then the next day I'd like in them days we used to pin and tack. I used to tack it, and then I used to be able to tack all the darts. And anything that needed to be gathered up, we used to do it all by hand.
Did you do it with red thread? Everybody seems to tack with red thread.
Yeah, different colour, yes. A coloured thread, yes. That's, that you can see kind of thing. That's how I used to do stuff, and that's how it was done like years ago. I used to tack everything first, and you try it on. And that's another thing you see about the old way of doing stuff.
Oh, here we go. Hang on a minute. In the olden days.
You tacked everything together, then you try it on. You know if you need to tighten it or loosen it.
Actually, that is a very good point.
Yes.
So the problem is right. Okay. The mannequin I have is a bit too skinny, and she needs to put some weight on. And I feel like the mannequin, okay, you're going to turn around and say, no, you need to lose weight to match the mannequin. I know you are. Shut up. But I think the mannequin helps. Like when I bought I don't even know why I got the wrong size. I don't think I realised it came in 2 sizes.
You can always get some of your stuff. Your bits that you can't use on.
But I tried that. I watched some YouTube videos on how to make your mannequin like fatter, and it doesn't work. It comes apart, and it's not the same like how the mannequin is either. Like because it ends up being all like lumpy, bumpy and stuff. It's not the same. I would love anybody to let me know if you've ever tried to change your mannequin to like what they've done on these YouTube. Has it worked out for you or not? Because it didn't work out for me. And I'm not trying to say that, if it doesn't work out for me, it doesn't work out for anybody. I just realised what I was saying there. Send me a link to the YouTube videos that work for you. So I keep going on a tangent again. So going back to, no, I did. I finished it off, didn't I? I said, like, I like to do my sewing videos of doing the clothes so people can see that, not everybody's perfect. Because at the end of the day, you want to watch YouTube videos where they know what they're doing. Because I just said, like, not too long ago that I was following along with a YouTube video of that girl making that bag, and then halfway through she does it wrong, and then I messed all this fabric up. But the difference is that I don't confess that this is like a follow along with me, and we'll both make the same mistakes together. Like, because I call it a dress sew along, and I probably should go back and change that because it's not a dress sew along. Like, I don't know. I kind of just want to keep track of like. Sometimes these YouTube videos are like a total selfish thing for me because I just want to see like how my progression has come on from the early days until like what I'm like now.
Well, yeah, you've come a long way since that bag.
Because a lot of my YouTube videos right at the beginning, I was never wanting to be like a YouTuber. I was basically using my YouTube as so I would like watch some like YouTube videos of like stuff that I wanted to remember, like, and I was using it like as a journal, like a video journal. So basically I was like, okay, I want to remember how to do this. So the best way, like, because I'm a very visual person, and when I want to know how to do something again, I want to be able to watch a video that I understand. And, you know, you can only understand your own video, so it made perfect sense.
Yes, yeah, that's a good idea.
So that's why I created the YouTube channel, was literally just for me at the beginning. And then when I started when other people other than my mum started watching my YouTube channel, I started realizing that I was actually helping people. So it was like a win-win. And I just, you know, if I was helping just like one person, I was just happy. And I've helped quite a lot of people, which I'm very happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gone on a tangent there. From my first quilt to like this.
Dressmaking and everything else.
Dressmaking is just, I don't know. And I think it's because sometimes when I'm reading the instructions for making the dresses, and I now understand why I don't understand how to do it. I know that sounds a bit weird, but apparently, so in the 1950s, or what would it be, the 1950s or 40s when people were sewing? It would have been the 50s, wouldn't it?
I think it goes back quite a long way, actually.
But I think like sewing patterns and stuff like from the 1950s, and most people had like home ec and stuff like at school and stuff, and they generally knew how to sew back then. And when these pattern companies created these patterns, they knew that people knew how to understand the sewing patterns, basically.
They can be quite difficult, though.
But what I'm saying is the people of the time knew like the terminology and stuff like that. So basically anybody like buying a sewing pattern like now and not knowing how to sew and stuff, like they've never changed the terminology from like then to like now, and that's why a lot of people struggle to understand them, because nobody really sews anymore.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's not that people don't sew anymore. I don't think there's many people sew anymore. Not many do. I think some people still do, don't they?
But why not update, like, so I'm not being funny on these like sewing pattern companies and everything, but like once you like sell out of all them patterns, like why could they not just put some extra money into it to like explain a bit better what it is that we're supposed to be doing?
No, exactly. I know.
Because let's face it though, like they only have to do that once, don't they?
Yeah. But it's the paper, the quality of the paper so thin as well, it's disgusting.
Are you talking about like the dress pattern paper? Like the instructions and that is like...
No, the pattern paper, the actual paper that you cut and everything, it's just really ridiculous. It's thin.
My problem with the pattern paper is like the cats love it. And they think it's a toy and they jump on it. They like this, it's the sound.
Yes, yeah. I know, especially Sophie doesn't she?
Yes. Cats, but they all do. It's very crinkly. Like pounce.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, like I just think that they could like, out of all them patterns that they sold for the price that they sell them at, it like, could they not just like do some work on like reinventing the wheel on how to actually do these dresses, like how to sew them together?
I don't know. You think they would have a, you know, like this day and age, a bit of better understanding of it, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Make it, I don't know, they just make it very complicated.
I'm wondering if it's just my understanding of it. But it's not just me, I think other people struggle with it.
I know. I do as well. There's too much, I think sometimes there's too much to read on them. Then that's what makes it complicated.
Do you think there's too much? I don't think there's enough to read on them.
Well, it's just that some of it's like, I don't know, just that doesn't make sense, and I don't think it needs to be there half the time.
Get off the paper.
Yeah.
What I've decided now, like when I'm sewing something, is the fact that I'll cut everything, like I'll use the instructions, and then like no, I don't use the instructions, right? So my point is that like I'll cut everything out, do whatever I need to do, and then like I get rid of the instructions, and then that's when my mannequin comes in. I'll stick all the pieces on the mannequin, and then I have an understanding of like how it all goes together. So I go AWOL.
Yeah.
I went, well, this obviously goes with this, and this obviously goes with this.
Well, I think that's quite a good way of doing it.
Because like if I try and read the instructions, that's it, I'm gone. Like and then it all ends up, I'm like, ugh, it all gets in a big ball and I'll throw it.
That's what I mean about the instructions. They just don't. I just that's what I mean. They do need to be garbage, I think.
I don't know. It's just well. The thing that I like about the quilting and the clothing is the fact that I don't have to wear a quilt. Like it doesn't matter what size it is. It's just like, you know, it gets put on the floor, on the bed or whatever. But with a garment, like you go to all that effort to make something and then it doesn't fit or it looks awful and it's so disheartening going to all that effort and then the end product being like awful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
When I could just go to the store and just buy it for $15.
I know what you mean.
My problem is that I like to always wear. I like emerald green stuff, and sometimes they don't have that in the stores. I never find anything like emerald green because with my red hair, I love wearing green.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's when the the sewing comes into play, isn't it? You know.
And that's another thing. So I keep interrupting you. Go on.
No, that's what I mean. It's like when you that's where it comes into play, doesn't it? When you want to do some dressmaking, you think, oh, you want in a specific colour, and it's not, you know, you can't find it, or you want a specific kind of fabric, and you can't find it. You know, it's like when you make a quilt and that. That's what the whole point is when you're making a quilt, because you find the colours and everything you want.
That is so true. And you can personalize everything. So if you like cats, you can like put cat buttons on the bows, and you can put a little pocket, or you can put a bow, or like stuff like that. And it makes it very. Oh, I saw this girl the other day when I was out downtown, and she had this black skirt on, and it had cats on the bottom, and they were all playing with yarn.
Oh,
it was like, and she was very corporate because it's like all corporate downtown, and it was like she was wearing this white shirt, this like black skirt, and it had the cats on it, and you had to like look to see that it had cats on it because you could like, it was very corporate looking. It was so cute. I'm like, I love your skirts.
oh.
See, that's another thing because I like my cat skirt.
Yes,
and you know, like that is a very simple skirt, but the bottom, that block that I've done through it, has cats on it.
Yes.
I should have run to the other room and go and get it. I feel like if you're talking about something, you have to show it.
Yeah, it's true, really, isn't it?
This is my cat skirt. And this isn't without its faults either, because the zipper Hasn't been done very well.
Well, pick it and do it again.
I don't know. That seems like too much effort. But this was done.
Oh.
This was done with twill, and like this is my cat. It looks like early Will. Oh, I had some comments and I didn't even see it. Oh no. So I don't even know what Robin was talking about now. Oh, so she's saying I was trying to find a guild so I can learn to quilt better, and they told me if I was not experienced, their guild was for shows. I was so upset and I walked out. Oh, quilting, that's the quilting police. That's what we like to call them.
Yeah, that's awful.
It is. But see what I mean about some people like quilting not wanting to help others how to do quilts and stuff, because I've had a bad experience with a quilt guild as well, but I won't go into it. But I decided in the end not to bother joining either. So you're probably not the only one. Maybe because me and my friend, so me and Susan were thinking about starting a guild. It's so funny.
Okay.
I won't say what she was saying the name would be, because it's like because Susan's very bad with her language. Basically, it was going to be like the unsnooty like quilt guild.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I don't know why they're like that. I remember when I first came to Canada with Neil, and like curling's the big thing here. And like we went to a curling club and to see whether we could join, because it was all about like, you know, we'd moved to another country and we wanted to integrate with Canadians and stuff. And we were told that if we couldn't curl, that we weren't allowed to join in. I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah. So we walked out.
What's curling? Is that the
You know curling, where they have the stones and they run along like ice and they let go of them, and you have to get it to the centre.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Neil would love that. That's like Neil's game. I swear to God, if like they would have allowed us to do that, like Neil would have like been so good at that.
Yes. Yeah.
Bully for them. They don't have a good player on their team now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Why are guilds a bit like that, snooty?
I don't know.
Yeah. Like that quilt that Susan did. So I need to explain to everybody, because she basically took a picture of a sun peering through the trellis of a garden, and she basically did like it all in raw edge applique. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks like the quilt looks like a picture. It's so good. And she did free motion quilting over the top, and she entered it into Edmonton quilt show, and it was supposed to happen in like this month in June, but obviously because of the thing that's happening right now that I don't want to say its name, it got cancelled. So her quilt did get accepted to that show, and she said, I don't think it's any good for this show. And I'm like, well, why do you not think it's any good? And she said, like, it's no good. And they're like, Susan, like, do I need to show you the pictures that I have from like QuiltCon? Like, you need to enter this like quilt. It's amazing. So, and now she's automatically entered into, I think it's Toronto next year that they're doing it in, like, because the Canadian quilt show, it travels all the way along the provinces, and it's not going to be back in Edmonton this year because they have to like book the venue in advance, and because of all this they don't know like when it can be. So it's over in Toronto, so her quilt has automatically been entered into the Toronto quilt show. So I said, road trip. Because we have to go and see, like, we have to see the quilt. We have to.
Yeah.
Maybe, Mum, you should come next year, like, when that quilt show's on, and we could road trip with Susan to Toronto.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, we get it in our heads that our quilts aren't good enough to enter a show and stuff, and it's not true. I think there should almost be, at quilt shows, beginner quilts, just for people that have been quilting for like a year or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is really true. That we should have the quilt shows like that.
Now, there's another story that I want to mention, but I don't want to mention the person's name. So in Edmonton, like a few years ago, somebody came to Edmonton, and it was like a major person, and I was so excited about it, and I entered a bag that I did for this competition, and like there was all these other like quilters and stuff, and the person that won that particular competition was somebody who was like so experienced at quilting, and they won. I don't know, I just kind of think it's like, if that happens where you've got experienced people entering a competition, there almost needs to be like different entries for other people, because obviously somebody who's going to be like having a ton of experience in quilting is going to like win. Yeah.
That's true. That really, you do these quilting shows. They should have like different categories of, like experiences. Well, you know what I mean?
It was so unfair. And like it was basically this like great big massive thing as well. Like I should have done that. Like entered like a extra queen size quilt in order to get the floor space. Do you know, it was almost as if I'll enter something mega big and then they can't ignore it, because there was like other things at that show as well where people had done amazing like footstools, and there were like smaller things, but even though they were just like small, it didn't take away the the effort that had gone into it.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, that bag that you did was that was really, really good.
We're not mentioning the name. Don't mention the name.
No, I'm just saying it was a really, really nice. No, but the way that you did the bag and everything, it's gorgeous. But I've got it there.
I do have it there, but I'm not going to show it because they're going to know who it is. So anyway, the thing is that why did that person? It almost as if that person wanted the validation that won. They are such an amazing like quilters. And don't get me wrong, the quilt was fantastic. And I'm sounding like this like really poor loser now because like, well, I didn't win. But no, I just think it needs to be fair. I like fair and like responsible like things and situations happening, and I just didn't think it was quite fair.
No, it didn't sound like it. They should have had different categories, like you say, really.
Well, the year after that, which is funny because the year after that they did another competition, and they actually said that we're not going to have this happen again, and it's going to be done differently. So even they acknowledged that they may have like messed up by doing like what they did, kind of thing.
Yeah. Everybody should have a chance, shouldn't they?
Yeah, just like, people shouldn't feel belittled going to a quilt guild about not being experienced. And do you know what I would have said? Please could you define experienced? Because like I don't think anyone's experienced. Like we're all learning. Like then, I think the quilt girls can learn from beginners just as much as beginners can learn from experts.
Well, yeah, because it's like there's always new experiences and different techniques to do things.
Exactly.
Things always change. Things change all the time, or somebody might have a different way of doing something, which might be a bit. Oh, I never thought about doing that.
Exactly. Am I missing any comments again? No. Jill and Robin are back.
Oh, yeah.
What else should we bitch about? I don't know, why is this industry so snooty sometimes?
It's not just that. I don't think it's not just that profession. It's other things as well.
I guess. Well, you always have the people that are top of the game, like, don't you? It's like, don't forget to look down at the rest of us, guys.
I know. I know.
I don't know. I always just like to help people, if I'm honest. I don't care whether you're experienced or you're not experienced. I just think that we can all help each other, like,
Exactly.
and be
Exactly.
kind.
Yes.
I'm drinking my coffee. I'm on my second cup of coffee today.
Oh, yeah.
It's not good, because now we're just going to be drinking coffee all day.
I know, it's terrible. I'm trying to keep up coffee at the moment.
And I've got my hair in a bun on the top of my head, and you're probably going to be like, stop wearing your hair like that.
I shouldn't be telling you about that. You're bullying me. I don't think it's a couple of us last year sometime. We were on about like when you pull your hair that tight, it loosens your hair up.
And we're trying to grow the hair.
Well, stop trying to pull it out then. Pulling it tight, putting it in a button.
Oh, I want to do some paper piecing again.
Well, yeah, you're good at that. You quite like that, don't you? Like, enjoy doing that, don't you?
The only thing about paper piecing is you use up quite a lot of fabric. And I keep on trying to use some of this scrap fabric up, and it's annoying me. I need to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's one of the good things about having all those scraps in there.
Maybe I should do like a huge applique thing and get rid of all of this like fabric.
Oh, I like you doing applique.
Applique.
Yeah, you're good at doing that as well.
I like my cat thing. Maybe I should try, like, what I should do is like get a placemat and like do placemat size things and try and do some sort of a picture with applique and my scrap fabrics.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I honestly wish it wasn't raining. Or maybe it stopped. No, it's still raining.
Why? What was that going to do with your sewing?
I don't know. I just want to go for a walk.
Oh, yeah. Was it raining very hard?
It's been raining all day.
So is it hard? Is it raining hard?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
They said the other
Yeah.
day that we'd had more rain. Like, so I think it was like last month, right? So it rained for 2 days consecutive. And he said that we'd had more rain in them 2 days than what we had, like, that month. And then, no, was it? I don't know. Something to do with like 2 months combined or something in 2 days.
No, really?
I messed that up, didn't I? I'm like, I should know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, Lordy. I don't know what's in my YouTube video on this week. What should do it on?
I was thinking about, do you know that what you did last week?
I know, but for some weird reason, and I don't know whether you guys can let me know, like watching, like whenever I do something just basically on a sewing tutorial, it doesn't get as many views than if I was to do it just on a quilting tutorial. So I'm starting to wonder whether this channel needs to be just like quilting rather than sewing and quilting. Like I said, I want it to be both, because I don't just want to be stuck to doing just like quilting, because I do like making clothes.
I was just thinking, do you know, like you do that gathering thing?
Yeah.
Can you not make something like?
You sound like that person that left that comment that time. So yeah, one of my most.
That's what I was thinking about.
So one of my most popular videos was applying Velcro to fabric, and somebody left a comment, and it still makes me laugh to this day. And he turned and said, "Well, you're gonna make something with that."
Well, that's maybe what you should do. Do you like you do something like you did that gathering? So that this coming week, make something fun out of that. You know what you can do out of it, like a skirt or cushion or something. Then there you go. You got your clothes, haven't you? You can make a skirt or something out of it. From the gathering, I mean, you don't have to gather all the fabric, do you? Do you know what I mean? You can just do it in 4 or so many, sections or something.
I made that. Well, she's still wearing her dress that I made her. Where is it? Oh. So you bought me the dolls, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
This is another one of Cassie's like fabulous ideas. So it's like, Mom, I want you to buy me a doll that has the same colour as my hair. And my mum was like, well, dye your hair colour. And I didn't take it to the hairdressers. I was going to take it to the hairdressers, but my hairdresser was like, no, I can't dye your doll's hair the same colour as your hair because it's different. I think it's a different fibre or something that they use for doll hair. And so she can't dye it the same colour as mine as I'm having mine done. But this is a doll's dress that I made for my dolly here. So I could make what you're saying, like make her a skirt.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to make it for myself. If I make it for my doll, then I don't have to worry about it fitting me, because I don't have to fit into a doll's dress.
Well, that's true.
And I did look at the American Girl dolls, and whoa, are they ever expensive?
Yeah, no.
And they have whole spa days. Do you remember that, Mum?
Yes, I know. They have all sorts of things, don't they? It's crazy.
I had no idea that there was like a whole thing about American Girl dolls.
I know. It's mad, isn't it, that?
So are we going to make a skirt for Mini Cassie?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's going to be mustard.
You're gonna have to make her a top as well, then, aren't you?
Oh, now we're coming up with a whole outfit for this doll.
She knew the new outfit by now. Did you make that dress like last year?
Well, she does have a t-shirt, and I don't know where it is. It says something about Paris, I think.
Oh, right.
She came with a blue skirt with an elastic waistband, and for the life of me, I don't know what I've done with it. I'm sure it's rammed into some drawer somewhere. I cleaned these out not so long ago.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
could do with the new. I'm sure to gosh, you could do with a new T-shirt.
I don't know what size she is. And I think I have some knit somewhere. Oh, but she's going to need knit fabric. And I don't know if I have knit.
All right.
But I can't make a skirt and have her running around with like no top on. Anyway. So I could make a pillow. What else has a gather? Who has frilly pillows nowadays? Seriously?
Which is something to make up, isn't it?
I know, but it's not. It's very old-fashioned, and you're always telling me off, like, stop doing things old-fashioned and do things modern. I'm just saying, when was the last time you saw a frilly pillow?
I don't know. I'm sure people still have those pillowcase, those little cushions. You could always put one of your jewels in the middle of it as well.
I thought of an idea. Now, I'm not sharing it. Oh, cool. Okay.
All right. Okay. So I'm giving you an idea of her now.
You did give me an idea, but I'm going to write it down.
Yes, write it down.
Trying to think of something else that has gathers on it. Because I did make something out of the Velcro. I made like a little pouch and I put Velcro on it. So I should have tagged that person in and said, here you go, here's your project with Velcro on it.
Oh, I keep thinking about a bag or a little, I don't know.
But even when I do the projects, they don't like get any traction on my channel either. Like, because I've done a lot of project videos, like how to make like an apron, how to make, like, I have a really good the earbud case. That's a really good tutorial on my channel. What else? I mean, the phone case I can quite understand, because who uses it? You don't use a phone case. You use that Hello Kitty. What did you use that religiously? That Hello Kitty phone case?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't know what blooming happened. It was I changed my phone. It was a different phone, but I don't know where that's got to.
No, because your phone got stolen, and I think it got stolen with it, didn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe I should make a shopping bag with gathers on it.
I don't know what like the top like all gathered and everything, like a little round bag. Like a kiddie's bag.
Oh, here you go again with your kids' stuff. Actually, sometimes on quilts it looks pretty cute having like gathers on it, because sometimes you like I forget, like, and that's some really, really cute like quilt ideas where they've like on the inside section of the quilt here they've put like a gather here, like not on the end, right at the end where the border is, but actually on the inside of it, and it looks so cute. And I forget stuff like that, like little details like that.
Oh.
Like even within the quilt block sections, when you're putting your quilt blocks together, like sometimes people put embellishments in that seam. So as they're sewing it through, then it has like some detail within the actual two pieces.
All right. Mm. Yeah,
That means she
I don't know what
doesn't
you-
like it.
I don't understand what I can't see it. I don't know what you mean.
I will have to send you a Pinterest photograph and show you.
Okay.
Oh dear. Anything else you would like to discuss?
What's going on? I don't know. Is anybody else want to know anything or discuss
No, I've got
anything?
some people watching, but they are very quiet on the other ends there.
All right.
It's because we're not talking about Isaac Singer. He was funny.
Yeah, he was actually.
So I
wasn't he?
didn't find
That's-
anything like fun to like talk about today, because I was gonna do it on haute couture, like, and about like the first guy who became, because like haute couture is something that is like in France, Paris, and you can only be titled that if the government of Paris has said that you apply with it. Like, you can't turn around and say your clothes are haute couture unless the Paris government says you are. And you actually have to have a fashion house in Paris, and you have to, like, you know, employ a certain amount of individuals and stuff like. It's a whole like regulation about it. So I was going to talk about that, and I thought, well, do you know what? It just sounds boring. I want to laugh. And then I was like, okay, let's talk about my first quilt, because I can't find the bag. I can't find the bloody bag, and I don't know what I've done with it. And I know I haven't thrown it in the bin. I haven't garbaged it. It's around somewhere. And I will talk about my very first sewing project with that bag when I find the bag.
Yeah. I said don't talk away because you know like you've come a long way since then, haven't you?
I don't know where it is, and I know it's somewhere. I've looked in that messy closet of mine, and it's not in there unless I've like overlooked it somewhere. It's definitely in there somewhere.
Well, last time I saw it, you had your patterns in there.
I know, but I put my patterns in a file and stuff, so my patterns aren't in it anymore. So I'm not quite sure what I've done with it.
Is it? Have you put it in the basement?
I looked in the basement as well, and I couldn't find it in the basement. So I can't find it. How about when you actually come over and we can do this live with you sat next to me?
Oh yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Isn't it funny? That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Which is your favourite quilt that I've done so far? Is it the star quilt?
Yeah, I think so. I like them all. I can't say I really got a favourite one, but that style quilt is really good, yeah.
Let's talk about the star quilt next week.
Yes, that'd be good.
And I don't know if I can fill a whole hour. I might be on a tangent like I did this week.
That's what I mean, when you start talking about something, it sort of goes on and it escalates, doesn't it?
It escalates?
Yes.
Doesn't that mean that you like get angry?
Oh, does it? I don't know what escalate. Does it now? Oh. I meant to say, like, you know, like when you start talking about something, it just goes on, you know, it goes on.
It goes on and on and on.
Yeah. But I still think your first quilt was quite good anyway. I like the edging.
I like it. I like my first quilt. I like the story behind my first quilt. And another thing is, I don't think I actually labelled it either, and I should have labelled it.
Oh.
Because that's another thing, you should always label your quilts, because your quilt's always going to outlive you, and you know, it serves a purpose in history. Like, if I don't know, if this gets donated or whatever, then the people that find it can actually say like where it came from and stuff like that. It says,
Yeah.
And I like to add something really funny to all of my quilts now.
And you put the date on it as well, don't you?
Yeah, you put the date on it, you put your name on it, and you just give like a short description of the name of the quilt, and so people can know what was going on in your head when you decided to do it.
Like a cat or something. I'm surprised there's not a cat on it, actually.
I think I did this before No, I've always had a thing for cats. I don't know. I was going for that shabby chic look. I liked all the flowers on it and stuff. Do you know, I just can't wait to get into a fabric store. I just want to get into a fabric store.
I know, I'm looking forward to getting to one as well.
It's not the same buying stuff online. And I know I can phone my local fabric shop and they can like get all the stuff because they have a great big window and they can show me the stuff. But like, I feel like I'm putting them out in order to like go and find all the stuff for them and that. Like, you know, having them running around finding fabrics and then me like going like thumbs up or thumbs down through the window or whatever. It's just not the same as going in.
It's not, because it's like, you need to feel the fabric and everything as well, don't you? So,
it's not just that you like to like look at what's available and stuff, and you know, I want to get into a fabric store again.
I know, it's a good idea to use all your scraps up though, isn't it, at the moment?
It is, and I've still got that panel that I want to sew. So the panel, I'm not going to try and find that because I know it's going to be like up there somewhere and I'm not going to be able to find it. But it's black and white and it's of a New York City skyline.
Oh, yeah.
And the idea for that was I was going to do it like, I want to do it like you're looking through a window. Like there's loads of different patterns out there where you can look through, like you can do it like it's looking through a window panel. And then you can see the skyline of New York through the window. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's nice. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
But then now I'm thinking about it more. I'm like, no, but I want the window panel to look like a wood grain. And now I need to go to the fabric store because I don't have the fabric. Oh. So you could do it like that, couldn't you? Where so the window panel would have like the grain on it of the wood, and then do it so the rest of the fabric behind that is like, I don't know, a painted wall in the house or something. That would look phenomenal. That would look pretty cool.
Yeah, yes.
But I'm sick of doing these quilts where like it's king size and super big. I need to make my quilts a little bit smaller.
Yeah, like cot size.
Yeah.
You always do that, then you end up making it bigger than that.
I know, I just don't know when to start for some weird reason. Anyway, let's sign off. I think I've just been waffling and waffling about nothing. So let's say goodbye to the good people of YouTube.
Oh, bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Bye.